As we turn our attention now to obituaries, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, your Dignity Memorial funeral home provider. Pre-need to at-need, funerals, burials, and cremations since the mid-70s. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. And a footnote to Curtis & Son, we want to welcome David Vick. David Vick's been in the funeral home industry for a lot of years, and he has joined Curtis & Son Funeral Home as one of our directors, and we're glad to have David. I've known David many, many years, and he's a good guy too, and a great musician, and he will really add some positives to our Curtis & Son Funeral Home family. In obituary news this morning, Gail Nicholson, age 83 of Sylacauga, died Sunday, May the 18th. She was born in Fayetteville. Visitation for Gail is this morning 11:30 to 12:30 at Curtis & Son North, followed by a funeral service at 12:30. Burial in the Marble Valley Cemetery in Fayetteville. All services officiated by Pastor Joe Kelly. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Visitation for Marcia K. Vincent, age 61, will be today, 4:30 till 7 o'clock at Curtis & Son North. Funeral service will be Thursday at 11 a.m. at the North Chapel. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. All service officiated by Reverend David Vick, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, in charge of the arrangements. Rosemary Norris, age 87 of Sylacauga, died Saturday. And she was a proud member of DAR, D-A-R, and an avid historian. Curtis & Son Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. And David Joseph Wasserman died May the 18th. David began his working career at the age of 9, riding his bike to deliver the Toledo Blade newspaper, and he did this every day until he began college in 1973. Following his graduation from college, he was employed by Avondale Mills for some 30 years in accounting and in information systems. After the close of Avondale, different career options led him to Sylacauga City Schools, where he has retired recently as transportation supervisor. His focus and attention to detail transformed Sylacauga school bus operation into one of the most respected programs in the entire state. David was a graduate of St. John's Jewett High School in Toledo and the University of Alabama, where he earned a degree in accounting. David's years at St. John's instilled in him a focus for life, to live a life of service as a man for others. To this end, he was involved in numerous community and service activities here in our local area. He was a Little League and Babe Ruth coach for many years. His teams won 4 league championships in 8 years, culminating in the 1994 Little League State Championship. Additionally, David was a venue coordinator for the 2022 World Games in Birmingham and ushered for the 3-day Rickwood Classic in 2024. Most recently, David was a volunteer coach for John Carroll Catholic High School baseball for 3 years. He was an active member of the Sylacauga Kiwanis Club, where he held numerous offices, including president and chairman of the annual Pancake Day. As a man for others, David's life of service was a life well lived. He attended First Baptist Church in Sylacauga, was a member of the church handbell choir. Visitation for David Wasserman will be at Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel on Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30. Funeral service will be on Friday, May 23rd at 11 a.m. from First Baptist Church in Sylacauga, with Reverend Rick Patrick officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. Visitation for Jeffrey Scott Hubbard will be Friday from 5 until 6 o'clock. That'll be at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. And then the funeral service on Saturday at 11 a.m., a celebration of life at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. That is Jeffrey Scott Hubbard, Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Public viewing for Marvin E. Foster will be Thursday, May 22nd from 1 p.m. until 7 p.m. at Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga, followed by a celebration of life on Friday, at 8 a.m. from Community Funeral Home Chapel, 511 Edgewood Drive in Sylacauga. Final resting place is Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo. Community Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. And Shirley Jean Pope Seals died May 18th at the age of 71. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Carlton L. Dark, age 46, will be May 23rd at 1 p.m. from Shady Grove Baptist Church. Visitation on May 22nd on Friday from 3 to 7 at S.M. Goodson Funeral Home in Talladega. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home Crematory in charge of the arrangements. Letty Sylvia Stone, age 89 of Talladega, died Monday, May 19th. Family receiving friends this evening, 5 till 7 o'clock at Earthtree Funeral Home in Talladega. Funeral ceremony in her honor, 2 p.m. on Thursday at First Methodist in Talladega with Todd Henderson officiating. Interment in the Pine Hill Memorial Park, Earthtree Funeral Home, Talladega directing. Mrs. Patricia Lee Willingham, age 82, died Saturday. Graveside service for Mrs. Willingham will be held at Forest Crest Cemetery at noon on Thursday with Brother Bent Arnold officiating. Earthtree Funeral Home, Pell City directing. And Randall Foster died on May the 19th. The family will receive friends Saturday, May 31st from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. at Earthtree Funeral Home in Pell City. Service to follow at 3 p.m. honoring his life. Condolences offered online at earthstreetfuneralhome.com. Earthtree Funeral Home in Pell City in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning, courtesy of Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Pre-need to at-need, funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home provider is Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga,